differential diagnosis of mass of abdomen. So here generally the patient presenting with a mass abdomen. So the patient may come with a mass abdomen. Generally we have to following the some clinical features. The also mass also having some clinical features. So we have to assess it carefully. We have to assess it carefully. So first of all, the patient may complain pain. So when patient comes with a pain, you have to ask him site, nature, or and aggravating
Sir,
or relieving factors.
sir,
చెప్పండి.
sir, ఇంకా జూనియర్స్ కొందరు లెట్టిన్ అవుతున్నారు సార్, అలౌ చేయండి సార్. హలో హలో హలో
మధ్యలో మాట్లాడొద్దు, మధ్యలో డిస్టర్బ్ చేయొద్దు. ఎవరు జాయిన్ అయినా నేను లాక్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఎవరు మాట్లాడడానికి వీల్లేదు, అంతే.
ఓకే సార్.
ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పాలి మీకు?
ఓకే సార్.
ఏం చేశారు 10 minutes వరకు? ఏం చేశారు వాళ్ళు? నేను ఎప్పుడు పెట్టాను? లేట్ అవుతుందని త్వరగా పెట్టాను. ఇలా అయితే మనకి ఎలా జరుగుతుంది? ఒకసారి అలవాటు అయిపోయింది మీ బ్యాచ్ వాళ్ళకి డిస్టర్బ్ చేయడం మధ్యలో. ఓకే. Differential diagnosis of mass abdomen. So the patient may presenting with mass abdomen, and this mass abdomen may generally having the clinical features. So we have to assess carefully. So generally, if the mass is present or anything is present in the abdomen, first important symptom is pain. So in this pain, we have to ask about site where it is present, or which quadrant, or which region of the abdomen. You know already, abdomen is divided into 4 quadrants and are 9 regions. So in which region or in which quadrant it is pain, where the pain is present, and nature of the pain, aggravating or relieving factors, and duration of pain and referred pain. So these things you have to ask whenever the patient comes to you with any swelling or any mass in the abdomen and also vomiting. So any abdominal disturbance, the patient may having vomiting. So you have to ask about the vomiting. What type of vomiting means, projectile vomiting or continuous vomiting or anything, and content of the vomiting, or hematemesis or any blood present in the vomitus, relation to food. So the vomiting may sometimes may be present before food or after food or during eating, and frequency also you have to ask. And then you have to observe the jaundice. So what is jaundice? Greenish discoloration of the skin and mucous membranes and conjunctiva. So it is an important factor in relation to liver. So if any jaundice present, this jaundice may be considered due to the liver and gallbladder and liver, and also you have to observe the gallbladder and pancreatic masses. Okay, and also ask about the bowel habits. So bowel habits means whether constipation or diarrhea or bloody diarrhea and furious diarrhea and tenesmus. And also you have to ask about the appetite. Appetite, whether appetite increased or decreased, and also ask about the weight, whether weight increased or decreased. And so this, and also then after asking these questions, we have to inspect the mass. So now inspection of mass. So anatomical location, already I have explained. So abdomen is divided into 4 quadrants and 9 regions. So where the exact location, so in which quadrant or in which region it is present, and margin of the swelling, and and surface and movement with respiration. While taking respiration, whether the mass is moving or not. And then after inspection, we have to do the palpation of the mass. So palpation of the mass, site, exactly where it is present, so extent and surface and tenderness. So tenderness means pain on touch, and consistency, whether it is hard or smooth or slippery. Okay, and also you have to, while palpation, you have to observe the movement of the mass, whether it is related, whether it is movement with respiration, whether and mobility, whether it is fixed to the internal area and borders, and uh, plane of the swelling, plane of the swelling. And so this plane of the swelling observed by leg raising test. So leg raising test. So generally what happens, while leg raising, there is increase of intra-abdominal pressure. So there is the plane of the swelling is increased or decreased. And also observe presence of other masses. So not only what explained, what complained by the patient, and also you have to observe other masses also. And after palpation, percussion. Percussion, very important aspect of the examination. So in case of abdominal mass, so percussion over the mass is important to predict anatomical location of the mass. So percussion over the mass, over the mass. So whether there is dullness present, so there is the mass. So we can see, we can observe exactly in which place the mass is present. If mass is dull, if mass is dull, if mass is dull, then it is anterior abdominal wall or in front of the bowels. Intra-abdominally, like liver, spleen, and gallbladder. So while percussion, if the mass is very dull, so it is, and you can predict the anatomical location. If mass is dull, then it is in anterior abdominal wall or in front of the bowel, intra-abdominally. So intra-abdominally, liver, if you percuss over the ribs, above the rib margins in right side, so the liver is the solid mass. So generally you are having the dull sound. So then under the ribs you can see the abdomen. So while percussion there is no dullness, so some resonance is present. If dullness present under the ribs, even right side or left side, you can say it is enlargement of liver, spleen, and gallbladder. Intra-abdominally. So intra-abdominally, if any mass is present, definitely there is there is on percussion dullness is present. If the mass is with the impaired resonant note, so if the mass is with a impaired resonant note, then the mass is arising from the stomach, bowels like stomach, colon, small bowel. If the mass is resonant, if the mass is resonant, so the mass is from the bowel, stomach and colon. Why? Because under the mass the bowels are present, so these bowels having the air or some gas, so this due to that, over the gas or over the air, if any mass is present, there is resonance is present. Okay, if the mass is resonant on percussion, then mass is probably retroperitoneal, retroperitoneal, peritoneal region. So other masses sometimes not over the stomach, colon, and small bowel, but even though the resonant on percussion, so then the mass probably in the retroperitoneal region. So other than this, liver dullness and free fluid in the abdomen should be elicited during percussion. So if ascites present, ascites means collection of the fluid in the peritoneal cavity, collection of the fluid in the peritoneal cavity. So if you percuss over the abdomen, so due to presence of fluid in the peritoneum, generally due to there is free fluid in the abdomen. So not only in the peritoneum, even in the abdomen, the fluid is present, dullness is present. Okay, then. So after percussion, perrectal examination. So we have to keep the finger in the rectum of the patient. It is done to look for any secondaries, in the rectovesical pouch. Any secondaries, rectovesical pouch in the man, woman, even vagina vesical pouch and the vesicorectal or rectovesical pouch in the female. So if you do the rectal examination, you can see the rectovesical, you have to observe the rectovesical pouch. Some masses, secondaries are maybe present in the rectovesical pouch. Primary tumor or relation of lower abdomen masses or pelvic masses, you can see here. And pervaginal examination. So it is done to assess pelvic masses. So generally the abdomen is divided into 4 quadrants: right upper quadrant, left upper quadrant, and right lower quadrant, and left lower quadrant. And the abdomen again divides into 9 regions. Those are right hypochondrium, epigastric region, left hypochondrium, right lumbar region, umbilical region, left lumbar region, right iliac region, fossa, and hypogastrium, and left iliac fossa. These are the 9 regions. So these nine regions are divided by 4 lines. So first one is upper horizontal or transpyloric line. So this transpyloric line is midway between the umbilicus and the xiphisternum. And lower horizontal line, it is transtubercular line at the level of 2 tubercles of the iliac crest. And right vertical line, it is the line through the midpoint of the right anterior superior iliac spine and pubic symphysis, and left vertical line, the line through the midpoint of the left anterior superior iliac spine and pubic symphysis. So these are the four lines. These are the four lines which helps the abdomen divided into 9 regions. Okay, then mass in the right hypochondrium. So let us discuss what are the present in different regions. What are from where it is originate. So first of all, mass in the right hypochondrium. So liver palpable as a mass in the right hypochondrium. So so mainly if the sometimes if the liver enlarged, the in the right hypochondrium, you can palpate the liver. Why it is so? Generally, the liver is horizontally placed. So horizontally placed, the right lobe situated in the right hypochondrium, and left lobe extends towards the left side up to somewhere, and it is usually moves with respiration. It is moves with respiration. Upper border is not felt, so upper border you cannot see, but the lower border is can be palpable at the right rib margin. So you can see the upper border, you can observe the upper border by palpation. So while percussion, you going if you go upwards, what happens? Suddenly there is a dullness is absent. Dullness is absent. Why? Because where the dullness is absent, there from there the lung mass will be starts. The lung mass. So the lung. So the lung. So if the why there is the you can if you palpate over the lung, what happens due to presence of air in the lungs, you may see the resonant. So the point where the dullness is absent, where the resonance starts, that is the upper border of the liver by palpation only. And okay, so by that, and also if you palpate under the ribs, you can palpate a sharp margin. So it may be one finger length, or two finger length, three finger length, and four finger length. After the ribs margin, a sharp margined mass may be palpated. So that is the right under the right costal margin. And so what is the conditions? What are the conditions? Conditions where the liver gets enlarged. In this first one is soft. So if the on palpation, if the liver is soft, smooth, and non-tender liver. So while palpation, if the liver is so in the enlargement of liver, if the liver is on palpation, soft, smooth, non-tender liver. So it is due to the hydrohepatosis. Hydrohepatosis. So hydrohepatosis means some accumulation of the fluid in the liver. So it's the swelling of the liver cells. So here what happened? So here what is the cause for the hydrohepatosis? It is due to the obstruction of the common bile duct. So what happens here? It is due to the obstruction of common bile duct, causing dilatation of intrahepatic biliary radicles. Then congestive cardiac failure, another cause for the hydrohepatosis. is due to congestive cardiac failure. Due to congestive cardiac failure also there is accumulation of the fluid in the liver. So hydrohepatosis may be developed, and hydatid cyst of the liver. So hydatid cyst of the liver, here mass is well located in the liver with typical hydatid thrill. So there is a three finger test. There is a three fingers test, and these three fingers are placed over the mass widely. When center finger is tapped, fluid movement is elicited in the lateral two fingers. So three fingers test. So if mass over the lever, or you can feel the thrill. So you can feel the thrill. Thrill means the sensation of the fluid. Here we have to do the three fingers test. So three fingers are placed over the mass widely. If you give pressure with central finger or tapped, the fluid movement is elicited in lateral two fingers. So remaining two fingers, you can feel the some fluid movement. Okay, this is the if the here soft, smooth, non-tender. So there is no pain. No pain is present in the hydrohepatosis, congestive cardiac failure, and third one is the hydatid cyst of the liver. Next, with tenderness, soft, smooth, and tender liver. So if there is any pain on touch, so previously there is no pain on touch, even though soft and smooth. Second type is soft, smooth, tender liver. So if you touch, pain is elicited. So it is due to the amoebic liver abscess. Amoebic liver abscess. Here, liver often gets adherent to the anterior abdominal wall, and wall not move with respiration. Wall will not move with respiration, and intracostal tenderness and right-sided pleural effusion are common. In amoebic liver abscess, the liver is often adherent to the anterior abdominal wall. So due to adherence of the liver to the anterior abdominal wall, so there is absence of respiration, and the wall is not moved with respiration, and intracostal tenderness, right-sided pleural effusion is present. Then let us discuss about amoebic liver abscess. Amoebic liver abscess. So this amoebic liver abscess due to infection of Entamoeba histolytica, it is more common alcoholics and cirrhotics, and single abscess is present, and it contains chocolate colored pus. It is a classical appearance. So by seeing the pus, you can say it is due to amoebic liver abscess, and secondary infection can occur, and life threatening. So why? Because this life threatening due to the septicemia. Due to septicemia. Due to septicemia, it can be. It can be. It can be. It can be acute or chronic in both mixed hepatoma. It can be acute or chronic, both mimics hepatoma. Rupture into lungs, commonest site of rupture. So common rupture into lungs. So the rupture at the superior surface of the liver. So commonly after liver there is that is the diaphragm. Through the diaphragm it enters into the side, and enters into the enters into the lungs, and pericardium, left lobe abscess, left lobe abscess. Liver failure can be developed in cirrhotic patients. And now clinical features of liver abscess, common in males, fever, pain, intercostal tenderness, tender liver, mimics, cholecystitis, saprophrenic abscess. So under the diaphragm, abscess may be formed. Hepatoma, total count increases, LFT, liver function test alters, prothrombin time, and you have to see the ultrasonography abdomen or relevant investigations, and chest X-ray may show left-sided sympathetic pleural effusion, CT scan to differentiate from hepatoma. Here, drugs like in allopathy they are giving metronidazole and other drugs, and chloroquine tablets also they are giving. And in our system, later I will discuss about this amoebic liver abscess drugs. Generally, we are giving Naxwamica, Chelidonium, and other drugs. So you should not give Hepacel for this abscess. If you give Hepacel, it causes the rupture internally, and you may see some risk, or he may develop peritonitis. So leads to other complications. And third one is hard smooth liver. Before smooth liver, non-tender and tender type. Now hard smooth liver. So generally here hepatoma, hepatocellular carcinoma, or hepatocellular carcinoma. Here a large single hard nodule is palpable in the liver, and occasionally there can be multiple nodules. When it is multicentric, rapidly growing tumor can be soft. Also, hepatoma often can also tender due to tumor necrosis or stretching of the liver capsule. Vascular bruit may be held over the liver during auscultation. It mimics amoebic liver abscess in every respect. Solitary secondary in the liver. So this is the if hard and smooth liver. It may be hepatoma or hepatocellular carcinoma. You can see here single hard nodule palpable in the liver, but occasionally there can be multiple when it is multicentric. Suppose if the growth of the liver is very rapid, you can so there is a soft mass. Hepatoma can also tender due to tumor necrosis or due to stretching of the liver capsule, and vascular bruit may be held over the liver during auscultation. It mimics amoebic liver abscess in every aspect, and solitary secondary in liver. Now hepatoma or hepatocellular carcinoma or HCC. So the common etiologies are alpha toxins, hepatitis B and hepatitis C virus infection. So hepatocellular carcinoma main causes are alpha toxins, hepatitis B and hepatitis C virus infections, alcoholic cirrhosis, hemochromatosis, smoking, hepatic adenoma, and so okay. These are the causes for the or etiological factors for the hepatocellular carcinoma. This is unicentric, and right lobe involvement is more common. So generally you know about the liver. So liver is having two lobes, right and left. But this hepatocellular carcinoma more common in right lobe of the liver, and unicentric, and fibrolamellar variant is common in left lobe. So here fibrolamellar variant is common in left lobe, not related to hepatitis or cirrhosis. Okay, and here cirrhosis is present. Generally in the cirrhosis, AFP level increases, but here there is no increase of AFP level. There are increased serum vitamin B12 binding capacity and neurotensin levels. So increased serum bilirubin, serum vitamin B12 binding capacity and neurotensin levels. It can be multifocal, indeterminate, spreading, expanding. So it can be multifocal, undetermined, indeterminate, spreading, expanding. So, and presence as a large, smooth, hard liver mass, liver mass, later jaundice, fever, pain, tenderness, and ascites, and brute over mass, and spreads to lymphatics and blood and direct spread. There is spread is three types. Spread of this is direct spread. So surrounding structures, look, invasion into the surrounding structures, and through the blood and through the lymphatics. So spread through lymphatics, blood, and also there is direct spread. It mimics amoebic liver abscess, and secondary is hydatid cyst, polycystic liver disease. It mimics amoebic liver abscess, secondary is hydatid cyst, and polycystic liver disease. And investigations are liver function tests, CT scan, raised AFP, liver biopsy, and all these investigations you need. And so hemihepatectomy in early operable growths is the treatment, and hepatic artery ligation and intraarterial chemotherapy, embolization, percutaneous ethanol or acetic acid injection, and radio frequency ablation chemotherapy are useful treatments for this hepatocellular carcinoma. And so hard smooth lever is over. Next, fourth type is hard multinodular lever. Hard multinodular lever. Multiple secondaries in the lever. Multiple secondaries in the lever. And these are hard nodules and showing umbilication which due to central necrosis. So in the center of the nodule there is necrosis. This necrosis causes the pushing the mass. So that is called as the umbilication. So umbilicus like growths. And macronodular cirrhotic lever. And so these are the multinodular lever. Multinodular